You know how a night out is supposed to go, right? It's supposed to be simple. A couple of drinks, some terrible dancing, maybe sharing a little gossip you'll forget by morning. It's meant to be harmless. But what happens when one tiny choice, just one single encounter with a stranger, ends up changing everything, forever? This is the story of Karen Buckley. And she was just like any of us, a student, chasing her dreams, excited to be in a new city. She had no reason to believe this was anything other than just another Saturday night. And that's really what this whole story comes down to, how a single, totally normal-looking conversation can spiral into an absolute, unimaginable tragedy. So before we dive into the events of that night, it's so important that we understand who Karen actually was. Because she wasn't just a name in a headline. She was a real person, full of life, with so many plans for the future. Okay, so picture this, a 24-year-old nursing graduate from Ireland. She's smart, she's driven, and she's just moved to Glasgow for this exciting new chapter in her life. Her friends said she just had this warm energy about her, the kind that makes you feel comfortable right away. And that little detail, the type of girl who actually texted her parents back, that really tells you everything you need to know about her character, doesn't it? All right, so let's go to that night. It's April 11th, 2015. Karen and her friends decide to go out to a popular club called The Sanctuary. Just a totally normal Saturday night out on the town. And this is where everything starts to turn. They get to the club, everything's fine. Then, around 1 in the morning, she says those 5 simple words we've all said a million times. I'll be right back. Only, she doesn't come back. Instead, just minutes later, the cameras outside capture her talking to a man, and it looks like a perfectly normal, casual conversation. And then, she gets into a car with him, a gray Ford Focus. Now think about this. Her jacket and her handbag are still inside the club. That's a huge sign that she was planning on coming right back. This single frame from the CCTV footage, this is the last clear image of Karen Buckley alive. So when her friends realize she's actually gone, the panic starts to set in. By the next morning, it's a full-blown missing person investigation, and it feels like the entire city of Glasgow is out there searching for Karen. The investigation moved so incredibly fast, the police immediately released those CCTV stills to the public, and the case just explodes online. And then they get their first big break. Someone finds her handbag just discarded in a park. This wasn't a random find. This was the start of a trail. It doesn't take long for police to identify the man from the footage. His name is Alexander Pacteau. He's 21. And when they question him, he admits he gave her a ride, but he swears he dropped her off safely near her home. But there's a huge problem. His story is full of holes, and it keeps changing every single time he tells it. So from this point on, the whole investigation kind of splits onto 2 parallel tracks. On one track, you got Alexander Pacteau desperately and methodically trying to cover up his crime. And on the other, you have the police just methodically closing in on him with every single passing hour. So while he's pretending to help the police, this is what Pacteau was actually doing. And look at these steps. These are not the actions of someone who panicked. This is a cold, calculated plan. He's buying chemicals, trying to dispose of her body, hiding her remains in a barrel, and then renting a storage unit. And every single step, it's caught on a receipt or a security camera. His lies just completely crumbled when you put them up against the evidence. He claims she walked away from his car totally fine, but the forensics, they told the real horrifying story. Her blood was in his apartment. The soil on his car tires, a perfect match to the park where her handbag was found. The evidence was just overwhelming. So you might wonder, where do they finally catch a man who's trying to cover up a murder? Hiding in some dark alley? Trying to flee the country? No. He's arrested, sitting in a Starbucks, just drinking coffee, like it's any other day. It is such a surreal and chilling detail that just shows you how completely detached from reality he was. After his arrest, the police go straight to that storage unit he rented. And there, inside, they make the discovery everyone had been dreading. Inside that blue barrel are Karen Buckley's remains. The search is over. The missing person case is now officially a murder investigation. So the search was over, but the story was far from it. Now, the focus had to shift to getting justice for Karen, and to the powerful, lasting impact her case would have on communities really everywhere. When it came time for court, Pacteau didn't even try to fight it. How could he? The evidence,
The CCTV, the forensics, the receipts for the chemicals, it was so completely airtight that he had no choice. He pled guilty to murder.
The judge called his actions truly wicked and depraved. Alexander Pacto was sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum of 23 years. That means he'll be a middle-aged man before he's even allowed to ask for parole. In the aftermath, the entire city of Glasgow was just shaken to its core. This quote, which was left on a note outside the nightclub, it just perfectly captures that shift in awareness. It became this promise among friends and students, a direct and heartbreaking legacy of Karen's story. So what are we supposed to take away from something so awful? Well, I think the most chilling lesson here is that danger doesn't always look dangerous. It can look polite, it can look normal. Karen was careful, she was responsible, she did everything right. And the very same technology that ended up solving the case couldn't do a thing to save her in that moment. Her story is just this stark, painful reminder that being safe isn't just about following rules. It's about looking out for each other. And really, that's the question this whole case leaves us with, isn't it? It just shatters all the cliches we're told about how to stay safe. It forces us to think harder about trust, about our gut feelings, and about our responsibility to our friends. When a friendly offer for a ride home can turn into this, it really makes you wonder, how do we possibly protect each other in a world where the biggest threats don't always look threatening at all?